What's up, everybody? It's Justin Parnell back again with another MTG Arena free-to-play episode. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel and like the post if you are so inclined. Make sure to check out Thinktwice podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher, and now Spotify. If you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/thinktwicemtg. Okay, so last week we had a little double dose of free-to-play arena series, so we're going to try to run that back this week. So we're going to break it up again with first doing a limited event and then doing a constructed event. We want to do the limited event first since we're going to open our prize packs before the constructed event, so that's going to mean a little bit later this week. So we've got enough gold. We went essentially back down to 0. We've got back up to 8,000. I've played in a few events to boost my gold back up, but as you can see here, I still have a 750 quest and a 500 gold quest. So we're going to be in pretty good shape to start off with spending 5,000 gold to get in this Guild Ravnica draft. So last time it didn't go quite as planned. We did get some good cards for our constructed collection, but as far as a successful limited run, we did not have one. But we're going to try to still do the same thing. Obviously, we are going to focus on our deck and try to make sure we get some value rares if they come up. It's going to be hard to pass up dual lands or the like, so we are going to go ahead and spend our 5,000 gold and jump into this draft. All right, so checking the rare first, we have a Sure symbol, which is solid if unspectacular. Fortunately, we don't have a ton of really just great cards in this pack, so this may end up being our pick just on its own. It's not that a Sure symbol is bad. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Honestly, I don't think I'm personally the biggest fan of drafting Selesnya. Now, Selesnya is powerful. It's totally fine. A Sure symbol is a very good card. It's probably one of the better Selesnya cards you can open. Obviously, Tristani is a little bit better, but that's a mythic rare. The other powerful uncommons we have is the Conclave Guildmage, which is worse than a Sure symbol, and then the Swathcutter Giant, which is also worse. It's also a 6-drop in Boros, which is not exactly what we want. So it's likely this is just the best card. Gird for Battle it's not a card we're going to be looking to first pick. It's a fun card to have in your deck, but it's going to be kind of a later addition. And then Prey Upon, which is the other good card in the pack. One that I do like quite a bit. But Prey Upon, you know exactly what you're getting. This is just going to be a solid card in your deck every time. And again, it's still kind of putting us in the Assura symbol colors. The rest of the cards are 2 power, 2 drops, and then Generous Stray, which I'm a big fan of, but it's ultimately still going to be worse than getting us into a green card. So we're going to take this Assura symbol and not love it, but have a solid card for our deck. Okay, so now, just like last week, we have Pelt Collector. Now, we ended up drafting 2 Pelt Collectors last week where they were not cards that ended up making our deck. However, if you're in green, Pelt Collector is actually pretty solid. It triggers pretty quickly, gets sizable. Unfortunately, again, we're not getting a ton with this pack. Uncommons, House Guildmage is just fine. I would say it's not worth getting rid of a certain symbol for, because you can't play both of these in your deck most likely. Invert and Invent is not very good. This is probably one of the worst flip cards. Silent Dart is also not very good. The Parhelion Patrol is very good, and we do have our Assure and Assemble to go along with this, but I still think I would rather take the Pelt Collector over the Parhelion Guide, even though I do quite like this card. Lockstar Restorer is good. The Pack Beast is not great. And then after that, we're kind of looking at another 2/2 for 2. Hammer Jumper, which I don't super care about, or this. So looks like we're just going to take the Pelt Collector. it's fine. It's a 1-drop that can get big. That can have an impact on the game, and pass the Perihelion Patrol, which is really the only thing I'm worried about passing. So Pelt Collector it is. Now we have a Ledev Champion to go with our Selesnya cards. Chemist's Insight is probably the best card. I'm a really big fan of that card. I think it's personally fantastic. Swarm Guild Mage is very good. Muse Drake is very good. Bant is not a great color combination because you don't have Simic or Azorius here, so we're not really looking to splash blue. Swarm Guild Mage is more reasonable. You can certainly splash black with these two, but we do have the Ledev Champion, which is actually a very powerful card. So we're going to very easily take this and look to kind of solidify our Selesnya cards. Okay. This is a pretty disappointing pack. Yeah, very disappointing. Might of the Masses is fine. It's a combat trick. I'd say it's a solid card. It's going to make your deck just about every time, but it's not a card I'm looking to pick high. Neither is Sworn Companions. Honestly, this is fine. This is probably the best card in the pack for our deck. Better than Wild Ceradoc. We'd rather go wide than go big. Take Heart is just this is just it's a combat trick, just like Might of the Masses. Like these two cards are pretty replaceable. And then of course the Ceradoc is just also replaceable. This pack is pretty bad. We're gonna take I can't believe this is our 4th pick, but here we are. None of the rest of these cards are good enough to get in any other colors, so there's no signals for us here. Okay. So here we have the card that I like the most out of this pack is actually Disdainful Stroke. Now obviously we're not going to take that. The Boros Guildgate is actually, this is kind of a pack where we're not really missing anything. Like none of these cards are 100% guaranteed to make our deck. I guess the best card in the deck for us, or in the pack for us, is the Forgers. This is just going to, it's a 4/4 for 5 that's going to gain us a few life. The Hedgecall Recluse is fine. But just like everything else, this will make our deck. The Candlelit Vigil might not. It certainly can make your deck, but it's unlikely to make our deck at this point. We really want creatures rather than suiting them up. So I'm actually just going to take the Boros Guildgate. I think it has the highest upside in case we get a sweet red card that we want to splash. And Guildgates are generally very good. Any fixing in the format is good, so I'll just happily take the Guildgate. Wow. Well, these two cards are both really powerful. I don't think one in isolation is better than taking one of the several cards that will make our deck, which is essentially all of these cards on the bottom. And we of course have another Boros Guildgate that we're not going to take in this spot, but Disinformation Campaign and Thought Erasure are both the premium cards for the Dimir deck. This would be very frustrating if we were playing in a real draft where we were passing to people, because we would be hooking someone up, but of course they'd only be able to take one. So we're not in that situation, fortunately. So I think at this point I'm deciding between the Centaur Peacemaker and the Pitiless Gorgon. I do like Generous Stray quite a bit. It churns through your deck. It's very good for Convoke. We don't have that right now, but I think at this point I would rather have the Peacemaker, just because it doesn't look like we're trying to do too much beatdown. We're kind of trying to get big and elongate the game. All of these cards actually do a pretty good job of it. The worst card for us here is Blatant Structure, which is this is a fine card. I think it's worse than like all of these cards on the bottom though. So they're all 3-drops. Essentially, which one of these do we want in our deck? And I think it's more likely to get another Peacemaker because it is a 2-color card. I do like the Generous Stray, but this is going to shore us up against Boros better, so I'll take the Peacemaker. Okay. So we have the Circuitous Route, which if we're splashing like this Boros Guildgate, this card can be good. It's always going to be fine, but we're not super rampy yet. Gogori Raiders, I actually think this card's pretty bad. you have to really be, you got to really be like in Golgari for the Raiders to be good. Like, the fact they started 0-0, it's very different than Rizome Lurcher. Healer's Hawk is a card that has impressed me a surprising amount. It's been good in kind of it's been good in both of the white guilds. And I think I actually want it more than the Ceratok here. The Garrison Sergeant, not good enough. I'm not interested in this card. I don't think this card is very good, even though it obviously is a 3/3 double strike for 5, which seems like it would be fine, but it's really not. You really have to be like super aggressive, and we're not. I'm going to take this Healer's Hawk, though. This thing has proven very annoying. Okay, so here we have a removal spell. Pretty solid. A creature with toughness 4 or greater, so that's a lot of things. Color Culprit's not like a fantastic card, but we're going to play it over the rest of these pretty easily. Okay, here is the pack that we opened. Righteous Blow is probably going to be the best card. I don't care about either of these. Don't care about the Hammer Dropper. Righteous Blow is a solid removal spell. We'll take that. Okay, here we're going to take the Loxodon Restorer, which I like more than the Pack Beast by a lot. So this is a solid card. And, oh, that's a super late Muse Strike. We don't really want any of these cards for our collection. We're not going to play this Urban Utopia. We can't really splash any of these cards. I guess if we happen to splash something, it would be Muse Drake, so we'll just take that. I guess we can take the Ceratok. It's unlikely that we play this, but you never know. Might be forced to. I'd rather have the Recluse than the Vigil, so we'll take that. We'll take the Thought Eraser just for our collection. We don't need another Recluse. And here's the stinky Golgari Raiders. Okay. Let's move these down and see if... Oh, boy. Oh, we opened up a bomb. So that's good. Right in our colors. Camaraderie, if you can resolve this with any number of creatures in play that's more than like 3, it's usually difficult to win the game. Or lose the game. Usually difficult for your opponent to win the game. Not a whole lot in the pack. There is an Artful Takedown, which is very good. But we're definitely trying to take this Camaraderie. This is super duper sweet in our deck. As I move, make sure that we just have cards we're going to be playing. Yep. Yeah, we're going to easily take this. We're passing a Prey Upon, but this card's super sick. Ooh. Okay, well, we're not the Boros Legion, but we'll easily take we'll take this 5/5 Angel for 6 with Flying and Mentor. So a lot of solid cards actually in this pack. So we should be able to get something good. A lot of green and white and with Splash Red. But Light of Legion for sure is where we're at. Okay. Another disinformation campaign. But we are just going to take Siege Worm here. Siege Worm is just always solid. It's boring, but if you can get your curve low, then Siege Worm is usually just where you want to be in a Selesnya deck every time this is in some sort of, you know, Convoke-y format, which is, this is one, you just want a Siege Worm. I do like the Woodshaper too. It's just a super solid card. Our two best cards are non-creatures in the Camaraderie and the Assure Symbol, which this bypasses. So this card is good, but it's less good in our deck. So let's take Siege Worm. Old Siege Wormy. Okay. So the best card in the pack by a lot is Deadly Visit. Now we're not going to be... Doesn't look like we're going to be playing Deadly Visit. I think the card that we're most likely to actually play if we're splashing something is Rizome Lurcher, but we also have a couple of cards that could just straight up make our deck in Skyline Scout, 10th District Guard, although I'm less high on this card than I am the Scout, because this can at least get through in the air, and then Pax Favor. Pax Favor is, you do want some removal or some combat tricks in your green-white deck because you lack removal spells. So I'm leaning toward the pack's favor. For creatures, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're actually doing pretty good on creatures, which is good. Being able to put 2 into play and then convoke this for 1 is pretty sweet. Skyline Scout is solid. These are both good. I think I'm gonna. We don't have any 2-drops, which we do want. So actually, I guess I'm gonna take the Skyline Scout. I would like to pick up a Pax Favor though. I quite like that card. Oh man. Well, Conclave Cavalier is arguably the best Selesnya card. So we're just very easily going to be. It's a 4/4 for 4 with Vigilance. When it dies, you make 2/2/2s with Vigilance. This is probably going to be the best card in our deck. Well, Camaraderie is probably the best card, but this is better than Assure and Assemble. So I'm going to snap this off very quickly. Oh man, Sprouting Renewal is great too. This card's just super powerful. It's really solid because it doesn't look like a whole lot, but it's so versatile, and there are a handful of enchantments and artifacts that you want to kill. There's not a lot, but the fact that at worst you just get a 2/2 Vigilance for 3 out of this with Convoke makes this card really good. So we'll take that. Take that very easily. Okay, so here we have nothing that we're going to play. I don't want to play this. I don't want to play this Locket. We're going to have enough cards going into pack 3. We're not going to need to play this. So for our collection, we're going to take this Thoughtbound Phantasm. Go ahead and move this to the bottom. Okay, we have another Lockstar Restore and then a Rosemane Centaur. I actually like the Rosemane Centaur quite a bit, so we'll take that over the Restorer. Okay, neither of these cards are going to make our deck. Urban Utopia is not going to make our deck. Doesn't really matter too much. I guess the upside on this card is higher if we end up with a lot of gates in the next pack somehow, but I'd say it's almost impossible we play any of these. We'll just take this Sergeant just in case, though. Okay, so this is the good pack, and we got back a bunch of stuff, which we were expecting to. So we don't really have a way to interact with flying creatures. But we also have, at this point, we have a handful of, we have 1, 2, 3 big Convoke cards, and we also have Light of the Legion. So we're just going to take more Sworn Companions to just get as many creatures onto the battlefield as possible. This disinformation campaign, ultra late. We'll take the Wood Shaper. I'd say it's a low chance we play this, but not a no chance. Silent Dart, I guess we could play. We're not, but I guess we could. Sure. We'll take this Pause for Reflection. I'll take this Radical Idea because we're not gonna splash black for this. No, we'll take that. I guess there's a scenario where we open a black bomb and we want to splash for it, and maybe we'd play this. So we'll give it a shot. Okay, back 3. Okay, so let's move some of the stuff that we're not going to play to our sideboard before we start evaluating pack 3. Unlikely to play this Ceratok. I'd play the Wood Shaper over the Ceratok. Okay. So, Mission Briefings are rare. We don't really have any great uncommons for us. We do have obviously a premium card for us, which is, we're going to be taking Luminous Bonds, but let's look at what we can get back out of this pack. We actually have 2 cards that I just want for my deck, which is the Iron Shell Beetle and the Pax Favor. this point, we're going to move this Boros Guildgate out of the deck. So we're just going to take this Luminous Bonds. This is a solid removal spell. And we hope one of these two comes back. I'd also take this Golgari Guildgate, but that's, you know, by that point, we're going to know if we're going to be in black or not. Okay. We have a lot of options for this one. So, not interested in the Marshal. We're not quite aggressive enough for the Marshal here. I do like District Guide. District Guide is just, this is just a super solid card. Even if you're just getting a land, this essentially just draws you a card. Arboretum Elemental is big. I probably want this over a second Siege Worm, just because even though it doesn't have trample, it is huge and impossible to deal with, and we can convoke pretty well. And then of course we have a Guildgate, which we probably don't need. I would rather add another card to my deck. It's tricky between these two. I actually think I just want District Guide. I think we just want we want lower in the curve, and then we can pick up one of these two. Maybe pick up one of these two later in the pack. We really need to get as low as possible. In retrospect, I'm very glad we have this this Peacemaker. So yeah, I'm gonna take District Guide here. Okay. And of course, right after that, we are rewarded with a Siege Worm, and I'm glad we didn't take that because we don't want to end up. We don't really want to end up with two of those, or three of those in our deck. Two is fine. Crush Contraband is a sweet card. This is a great commander card. Not gonna play more than one Wood Shaper in our deck. Don't want either of those, so we'll just take the Siege Worm. Okay, so we don't want another Siege Worm. I'd rather have another Healer's Hawk. This is good at convoking and just kind of getting in for a little bit of damage. I think it's better than this Shield Man. I think this card's pretty bad. Healer's Hawk is, I don't know. It's just a card that I've been impressed with, honestly. So we'll take another Healer's Hawk. I think this card is better than the what is this Shieldmate here. So in the event that comes back around, that would be good. But I'll take this 1-drop over either of these two 2-drops. I think they do better to race. Okay, so we have a Collar the Culprit versus a Pax Favor, and this is where I'm going to take the Pax Favor. Give us a few more options. There's a City Watch Sphinx, which is obviously super solid, but we're going to take the Pax Favor, passing a giant Sphinx and a dragon. Okay. There's a Collar the Culprit, a Marshal, and a Pitiless Gorgon, which I think is the best among these, so we'll just take that. We're definitely going to have some cuts that we're going to be making. We have a lot of 3s. I'll take this 2 in case we need a 2. Haunted Witness is great. I do like this card as well. This is good at shoring up our aggressive issues. Okay, there's the Iron Shell Beetle. Although this Grappling Sundew this thing is one of the most annoying cards that you can play against, but it's not good. So we'll take the Iron Shell Beetle over Pax Favor. I think Pax Favor is better, but for our curve, let's see. We have 26 cards in the deck. We're certainly going to be cutting a small number of these, probably. Look at this point, probably 3 cards. So do I want another combat trick? Maybe I do. Maybe I do want another combat trick. No. No, we're going to take the Iron Shell Beetle. I'd rather have another 2-drop. Okay, well, there's the Pax Favor. I don't want any of the rest of these. Easy enough. We'll take the Contraband for our collection. This is good in Singleton. No, actually, I want this Goblin Electromancer for our collection. Ooh, this is a good one for our collection, too. Sinister Sabotage. None of these matter. We'll take the Uncommon and take that. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is remove the cards that we're just not going to be playing. Okay. Lots of 3s. We have 18 creatures and 10 non-creatures as it stands right now, so we need to cut 5 cards. That's a lot. It's a lot of cards. This is definitely going to draw us a card. Though, it's going to draw us less because we're going to be cutting some creatures. These are essentially saying we don't want to die to Boros. Though I do like these, honestly like these better. They're not going to be trading, but we just need this lets us block and gain life. So, we're going to cut one of these packs favor. We're going to keep all of our 3-drops, actually. I think the worst one is the District guy, but that draws us a card. We're not cutting any of our big stuff. Color the Culprit I don't love, but obviously this helps us get rid of bombs, so we need that. We're also a little weak to flyers. I think the worst 2-drop is the Skyline Scout. It's either that or the Iron Shell Beetle. I actually like the Dissident the best, because at least if you draw it late, it's a 4/4. If you draw it real late, it's a 6/6. You know, 6/6 at the tune of 10 mana every turn. No big deal. I'm more worried about blocking than attacking in early turns, so we're going to get rid of the Skyline Scout. That gets us to 43. We definitely need 17 lands. I don't really want to cut any of these. Don't want to cut this renewal. I think we're going to cut the Woodshaper and the Color the Culprit. We just have a ton of 3s. And we still need to cut one more. The other thing is going to be this Hunted Witness. This curve looks not great, but we just want to be able to convoke our big things out as quickly as possible. So it is gonna do that job. All of our 3s are the best things possible. So we have the Lidev Champion, Sworn Companions, Spreading Renewal, and then these just get us there for the rest of the way. So that's 40. We want one more Plains for our Healer's Hawks. Okay. We're going to change the picture of Camaraderie, even though we picked the Assure first. Game 1 with our Guild of Ravnica draft. And solid. We have a 1-drop, a 2-drop removal spell, and another early play when we get another forest, so we'll definitely keep this. Okay, and there's our forest, and here's our Healer's Hawk. I don't know why, just lifelink is such a powerful mechanic on creatures. We're not going to be able to block, so we'll just play our Dissident. If they get a discount or 2 on this, that's okay. We know we're just trying to get bigger. That's a good draw. That is a very good draw. We'll go in with the old Hawky boy. I'll trade the Gorgon for the Cyclops if our opponent is interested in such things. Looks like they are not going to be. And we're not going to attack. I feel like we're going to be in a good spot if we can do nothing. We also have a 4/4 next turn on defense if we need it. Probably not offense because of the the Cyclops. But all right, another Cyclops. Yeah, that's fine. Nope. We'll just... I will happily attack them back with the Healer's Hawk. And we'll just pass the turn. We've got nothing out of the Electromancer yet, which is good for us. Doesn't mean they can't. Just have not yet. No doubt it will give them some sort of mana discount at a various point in the game. Okay. I guess attack with the... Okay. They're decided to not attack with the Muse Drake. They did the math. That would have been a great play last turn, but we'll just play this Light of the Legion and hope we don't run into a Sabotage. Not even close. Okay. I'd like to get this Roseman Centaur down first. Alright. Kill our Hawk. Can't block. They can hit us for a decent amount. And we'll hit them back is, you know, the problem. Well, that was a very good draw. So I think I'm going to want to Convoke off of this. So we're just going to attack here. And let's make a bunch of tokens. And I think we want to tap these 4 and get the Centaur. And we'll have a couple blockers. Now, if they have another wave, then we're dead. But there's not a, you know, we're not able to beat that card. Because even if we held this up, we can deal 2 here, and they hit us for 9, and then 1 from the field. So we have to just try to get aggressive, which it looks like we're going to be able to do. Okay, well that's nice. Little Iron Shell Beetle here. We'll put that on the Light of the Legion and kind of gum up the ground. They're going to chump with their Drake. Nope. Okay. So Beam Splitter Mage, if he has an instant or sorcery that targets only Beam Splitter Mage. If you control one other creature that spell can target, choose one of those creatures to copy it. So Sure Strike is the danger here, I guess. Okay, well that sure seems dangerous. Let's go to blocks. So what do we want to lose? So if they Sure Strike, they think they're going to be able to take out 2 of our creatures. And we'll be able to Righteous Blow in response. Okay. I thought they were going to do something. I guess they did not. So, I guess they have something for this Light of the Legion. They're sure making it seem like they do. They gotta have something. Okay, the answer is they do not. Nothing for the Light of the Legion. Alright, game 2. We are 1-0. Another solid hand. We have a bomb and a other bomb and a nice little curve. So we'll keep this. We're also on the play, so we can maybe have a aggressive start. Maybe, maybe not. Okay. We'll put our little counter on our pelt collector here. We would like a land, very much. Any land will do. Shieldmate? Okay. Any land will do. Well, that's not a land at all. Okay, well, in that case, we're going to pass the turn. I still feel good as long as we can draw land in 2 turns. Okay. That was a card I wasn't the most interested in losing, but here we are. Okay, excellent. So if we can play this and then draw a land, we'll get a Siege Rhino next turn, but I'd rather try to go long since we have 2 of our best cards in our hand. If they want to trade here, that's fine. Dead weight this. Ritual of Soot. Okay, well they're going down anyway. Okay. Two more friends. I mean that's a 2 for 2. They're trading their Ritual of Soot and their Shieldmate for our Peacemaker and our Iron Shell Beetle. I assume they drew that after they drew the what's it called? Oh, that was a nice draw. After they had cast the Dead Weight. No bucks. No vigilance creature. Okay, Gorgon's nice. Ooh, District Guide is good. I do want to get another forest is the problem. So, I mean, we're just going to get another forest. We will take the action. I wanted to be able to get a white for the Righteous Blow, but we can do that. We can worry about that next time. Oh, Spring Snitch, okay. Well, they are Golgari rather than Dimir, so I'll not block again. And of course we just draw the forest. So we're going to attack here, and that's it. And we're going to Righteous Blow the Pitiless Gorgon when they go to block. And then we're going to play Siege Worm. Tapping our small creatures. Oh, we're just going to start getting in after that. If they attack here, I'm just going to block. Okay, no attacks. Totally fine again if they want to block the Centaur. Looks like they do. Not a great chump here. We were happy to play the Cavalier, but we'll just play our Angel instead. 6/6 Lurcher. That's certainly not bad. 4/4 Raiders, not bad either. That doesn't get them anywhere. We're just gonna attack with our Light of the Legion. The onus is on them to remove this and or kill us. And it looks... Oof. Oh. Okay, well. Let's play a ridiculous card. Yep. If you want to trade here, then by all means. It's going to be a lot easier for me to get through next time. Man. Camaraderie. This is... Yeah, that's the best card in our deck. For sure. Attacks. Okay. I think we can just attack with everything. And they have to block here. And then they take 9. And bite the dust. And... Oh, we can just mentor this. And make blocking really awkward. Okay, great. Got it. Camaraderie! Alright, game 3, we're 2-0. 2 Healer's Hawks and a Sworn Companion into Lockdown Restore. That sounds fine. Sounds fine to me. We're just trying to convoke out those big boys, so... No. How dare they play their own Healer's Hawk? If they play a forest, I'll consider blocking. We got our convoke cards in our hands, though. I'm definitely going to play this forest. I think we're just going to hog it up again. And Righteous Blow. They are going to Righteous Blow. Alright. Definitely hawking it up. I'll take that trade. A little Abzan action. Okay, so they're going real big. 3 colors. They got some... Who knows what they're splashing? No blocks. Yep. Take back some of that life. Get our Restore down next turn. No problem. Okay. Hold up Righteous Blow. This card is going to be a little bit of a problem with our Restorer fighting it. So we might be trading our Restore plus Righteous Blow for the Centaur. Playing something pre-combat, so... Okay. Oh yeah, they're greedy dot deck here, looks like. Okay. Not interested, they said. Not interested. Kind of want to blow up this locket, but I think we're going to be better off just going wider. And play the Peacemaker. And I think we're going to Sprouting Renewal with the Peacemaker and 2 of these and make a... No, I'm going to hold this. We're pretty gummed up on the ground, so I'm just going to pass the turn. I would rather trade the Peacemaker than the Restorer plus the Righteous Blow if our opponent presents us with that opportunity. Do I want to block? I'd rather keep it around. I think we have more Convoke than they do, is my guess. Alright, let's see if they block now. They do not. So this does play into Ritual of Soot, which would be bad. Very bad. But if we happen to draw Camaraderie, then it turns from very bad to very good. So if they attack with the Worm, we will block with the Peacemaker, then deal it 2. Okay. Interesting. One here. One here. One here. Those are only blocks. Opponent's ordering blockers. Untap all creatures. They gain hexproof and indestructible. Okay. So, we're just going to be losing our friend here. Righteous Blow will not help. So, they can still... I mean, we just lose these two. Which is not the greatest thing in the world, but could be worse. So, we're going to go here. Here, here. For the renewal. And we have a bunch of creatures. We telegraphed this Righteous Blow pretty hard, which I didn't really mean to do. For some reason I thought we were going to have one more, but we don't. So, we'll attack with the Hawk and the Siege Worm. Sure. Oh, that's nice. Yep, so we'll attack with the Hawk and the Siege Worm. We'll see how they block this. Okay, so they're just blocking with that. Then we'll Righteous Blow here. And they can take 6. 56 life between us. Thanks to Peacemakers and Healer's Hawks. What shaper? Alright. Alright, alright. Let's see what they can dig up. Ooh, a Lidev Champion. That's a good one. We would not like that one to beat us. Hawk. What about that worm? You want to attack with the worm too? Okay. Well, we'll block here and get their guy. It's a vigilance creature, which is why I'm so inclined to kill it. They have to make a double block or trade here for their worm. I'm fine trading the worm and a damage. They're doing a pretty good job of gumming up the board. Double block is dangerous. That's dangerous. It's going to work out, but it's dangerous. We'll get the worm first. Yep. So this champion is going to be a problem because they're going to be able to make tokens at a pretty rapid pace. I think we're going to need to draw one of our bombs. Which is unfortunate, but it looks like that's kind of what our deck is. That we don't lose until we draw a bomb. And we'll keep trading the Healer's Hawks attacks. Okay. I mean, we don't have any other flyers. I don't think we have any enchantments, so I guess that's what that card's going to be doing. So our opponent can make a 1/1. When it attacks, they can tap any number of untapped creatures. Maybe the Healer's Hawk, maybe the Champion. We don't want to double block. I'd rather have more cards for camaraderie, so we'll just take it. Luminous Bonds can't attack or block, but it still can create trouble. So we'll just play this Plains and pass the turn. If this was a 1/1, I still wouldn't attack, actually. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they need one more land that can start making 2 a turn. All right, well that puts us in a rough spot. If we draw ours, we can get to parity reasonably. Okay, well they can't activate it this turn. Obviously, they just drew 2 cards, so. All right, same thing as last turn. We'll probably take a couple more hits before we really do anything. Well, our opponents set themselves back a land to being able to activate 2 a turn, so they're still on 1. If it seems like they're interested in attacking with the champion, I'll Luminous Bonds it. Still no blocks. Because then we're going to have to start chump blocking, which I don't really want to do. I think I'm going to now have to block with the knight and a soldier on the peacemaker. And we'll hold the bonds for one more turn. Yeah, okay. Is this the turn they send it into battle? It is. Let's see. I bet they tap everything but the Hunted Witness. Or they should just tap everything. Jump here. And trade here. Which is going to leave me with 2 creatures. Which is not great. There's our Pelt Collector. Still going to be able to make two tokens, which is not what we want. We'll play the Pelt Collector. And we'll attack with both of these. I imagine they're just going to take it. But we're not really in a position to be able to trade tokens for tokens, since they can keep making them and we cannot. So we just have to take it. No blocks. 8 damage, which is not nothing. Ugh. Brutal. We'll at least make our Pelt Collector a 2/2 so we can somewhat block the small creatures over here. It's not enter the battlefield with, so otherwise we could just put it on itself, and this would be a 2/2, but not the case. Okay, so now we have to do this business. We're still going to try to keep as many creatures as we can. But it looks like we are probably done for. I don't even think the Cavalier can help us. Let's see. Yeah, we are dead if they attack with everything. Unfortunately. Because even with our lifelink here, we're still taking exactly 6. Now they could just not attack with everything. Oh, they figured it out. Well, in case I did math wrong. Which we know that we did not do math wrong. Oh, we did do math wrong. Alright, well, we live at 1. I don't think there's anything that we can do at this point. There's no Wrath of God. Plane certainly doesn't help. We'll just attack. Show them what for. Yeah, get them down to below 40. That's right. So, in situations like these, when our opponent's clearly going to kill us, I'll just let them in case I have a quest to complete. I'm not gonna, not gonna get free damage. I'm gonna block their 4/4, but we're dead. Hard fought game. All right, game 4. We're 2-1. As you guys can see, I put in the Collar the Culprit. I took out the Iron Shell Beetle, so we probably gonna get punished. Took out a 2-drop. Have a 2-drop. We are gonna keep on the strength of the rest of our hand. But Call the Culprit, clearly the worst card. If we can hit a 3rd land, and then a 4th land, we'll be in great shape. We do need to do that, though. We have 1 turn to miss. And then we start becoming very unhappy. Okay, well. They either take the Bonds or the Champion. It depends. Do they have a removal spell or do they have a threat? That's what we get to find out. Now that information doesn't do anything because we don't really have a follow-up with whatever they take. I bet they're going to take the Champion. Oh, they took the Cavalier. Well, this is certainly the most powerful card, but we are 2 lands off of playing it. Okay, Healer's Hawk it is. Right on time. Chromatic Lantern. I like that and don't like it at the same time. So our opponent does know our entire hand. Interesting how these get gold and this is still just Golgari Guildgate. I guess because they're basics. Who knows? Nightveil Predator? Okay. Well, that'll certainly put the caboose on attacking for a little while. We don't want to Luminous Bonds. If we can draw a land and start putting our little friends into play here, that would be great. We do have all of our removal spells handy. Though it looks like our opponent is going to work to make them bad, but inevitably we're going to get something. I can't imagine they're going to let this Ledev champion live for too much longer. This tells me they're going to play another flying creature. Just a Dowser of Lights. So I think I want to get this centaur onto the battlefield. Which I could do and luminous bonds, but since we can collar the culprit here, I would rather do that. Which means one less turn of getting this on the battlefield. But I think I'd rather just get this in play. Yeah. I'd rather just get this on the battlefield. Actually, I do think in the interest of being able to play everything out, I think I'm gonna luminous bonds this. Which I should have done. Actually, pre-combat doesn't matter. Oh no, then I can't do this. That was a terrible play. Should have not attacked with the Healer's Hawk. Yep, that was bad. Miscounting. Convoke is hard. Or I'm stupid. It's one of those. Okay. There's that. No blocks. Okay. So now we can collar the culprit and get our centaur into the battlefield. And they can attack us for 3. We do have some lifelink creatures here, which is good. As long as they don't have another Death Toucher, we'll be in good shape. Or as long as they don't have another large Death Toucher. If they have a small one, then we can handle with Righteous Blow, but they do know that Righteous Blow is in our hand from their turn 2 Thought Erasure, so. Carnal Troll, okay. Well, they only have one creature in there. Exile a creature, then you have to put a +1/+1 counter on it. Okay. If you say so. Okay, well that's another thing that they have. Well, I'm just going to attack with the Hawk and the Centaur. And if they want to block, then I'll trade these. Because I can't just keep taking the troll damage for too many turns. Okay. Damage it is. Okay, so they're going to exile, go to 6. So they have to draw a creature here to make this bigger. Alright, well let's see if they... I mean, I think they have to attack either way. They didn't block. So, they're in the business of attacking. No, not in the business of attacking? Are in the business of attacking. Okay, well... We're going to block here. And here. And they could have a removal spell, which would make us sad. But they can't have a removal spell and discarding a creature. So... let's see what they got. They can get both of our creatures, which is the case. It looks like they did draw a creature and they were going to try to kill us. Okay, we do have to do this to kill it. and trade our guys. But it is unlikely that they can save it. Peterless Gorgon. Okay. Alright. We'll make a 1/1. Siege Worm's cute. Damage. And we're going to play the Siege Worm with the champion. And then we're going to start attacking with our Siege Worm and our tokens. I believe, since they have lifelink. This Nightveil Predator has been a pain in the butt. That's for sure. I'd like them to just attack with the Gorgon. Well, and of course they're going to attack with the Predator. Well, that's a good card. Don't have a counter spell. No, don't have a counter spell. Yes. That was not a counter spell. At all. So, we can attack with everything. They have to have a removal spell, because even if they block the champion, they're taking 12. Okay, which they do. They get the Hawk. So now they can block the champion, go to 2. Oh, well, that's not going to work. I mean, they get it, but now they are in rough shape. And I also left this champion around. I mean, I guess they're in rough shape either way. Okay. The Fine Broker was a good draw. It gets them back the Gorgon. They're at 1. Still doesn't matter. I don't think they have a creature that's 2 creatures in here. Yeah. Alright, so that should be a game. We can just attack them, and they'll take 1. And even if they did get 2 creatures, they still couldn't attack, and then we could just put more creatures into play, put more creatures into play. And that would be the end. That would be the end of that. Alright. Well, no need to mess around. We'll just attack our opponent. Well, we drew our busted rare, and we're able to defeat our opponent. Despite a close call. Alright. On to the next one. Camaraderie. Alright, we are back with game 5. Guild Ravnica Draft. We don't have a quick start, but we do have Camaraderie, and in my opinion, that is enough to keep this hand. We also have some early defense, so... we were playing against Urza, though, so that's important to note. Appropriately with the Karn avatar. Mirror Guildgate means that our anti-aggressive hand is not going to mean much, but... Okay, well that's interesting. Excellent draw. If we can make another white sometime soon. Okay, our opponent did not play another land. So we are going to play all Pelt Collector and pass the turn. I'm not really worried about getting this Luminous bonded quite yet. Okay. We could... I think I want to get the Restorer down. So we can play the Healer's Hawk into the Restorer. Since it's a white creature for 1. Hand would have been great against an aggressive start. Right, we know our opponent has 6 spells in their hand. Oof. Okay, well, this gets us our other planes, which we definitely want to do. They're playing even more defensively than we were. Took out 3 of our creatures. So it's a 3 for 2. Which is not the worst thing in the whole world. Ugh. Alright, we're going to pitch this Luminous Bonds. Because despite this being a premium removal spell, we have arguably the 2 best cards in our hand in our deck. So we'll play the... If we need to discard something else, we'll discard the Call of the Culprit. And hopefully we can draw land and fire off this Camaraderie. Even for 3, I will be satisfied to do so. As long as they can't Disinformation Campaign us twice, which would be pretty... would take quite a lot. Take quite a lot of mana. So, I mean, that's 6 right off the bat. They only have 7 mana, so that's not going to happen. If we have to pitch the Call of the Culprit, so be it. Looks like not going to be the case. And also looks like we can safely attack with the Conclave Cavalier. They can't double block, but that's fine. I'm more than happy to allow them to do so. Okay, so this would be if they have an end of turn Surveil, where they could get both of the cards in our hand. Nope. Okay, good. Just don't want to lose this Camaraderie. I'll lose this Call of the Culprit. That is totally fine. Niv Mizzet. Well, you know, thank goodness that we still have this Call of the Culprit, as I've been saying the entire time. You know? Yeah, you can draw. That's fine. You can deal us 1. I'll take my 1. As long as they hit us instead of the Gorgon. Oh no, that means they have another instant. Oh, and counter it. That's not good at all. That's very bad. Oh, that was poor. That was poor. Well, okay. Well, we probably can't beat Niv Mizzet. That was our one shot. It didn't happen. So this card is virtually unbeatable if you can't kill it the turn your opponent cast it for 6 mana. Yeah. We are going to be able to play this Camaraderie next turn, but it might not matter. Yeah, because we're going to pitch this Forest now off the campaign. Because no doubt they're going to play it again. Which is going to draw them a card, deal us 1. Okay, so... Okay, alright, well at least we can play the Camaraderie. I mean, it's not, you know, we're gonna lose, but I want to put up a fight. I think I have to attack with everything. They can block here and here, they can take 3, go to 8. Otherwise, they're just going to mow down our creatures either way. Maybe they could think we have Pax Favor with this attack and not block. Nope. Man, how great would that be if we did, though, right? I'm not sure we could draw. We'll give it about another turn. And we're just going to scoop it up to this new visit. This card is nigh unbeatable when it's on the battlefield. Well, he's got a bunch of dragons. We have 2 dragons. I think that's the maximum number of dragons you can have in this format. Wisely not attacking with Niv Mizzet. Nothing. They can't do anything. Okay. We have 1/1s. Alright, we're done. We're done here. Alright. 3 and 2. We've had a little bit of a bad run, but on the draw, this hand is solid. Very defensive, but we just need to draw a land within the first 3 turns and we'll be in just fine shape. I'm not going to right to explode this Hunted Witness, of course. Okay, so it could be Boros. Our hand should be, in theory, set up to defeat Boros pretty well. I will say that. Okay, so we do need to draw land on this turn. Let's see if they play something pre-combat, which will help us decide if we need to Righteous Blow this Locksmith. Yeah, we definitely will Righteous Blow the Locksmith. Okay. And take 1. Okay. There's our land. And let's make a peace. Let's make some peace. Forest was a superior land to Plains there for our Pitiless Gorgon. Well, that was a good draw too. Well, let's attack. And make another blocker. So if they have a Luminous Bonds, we do have this Sprouting Renewal, which we will happily destroy. The All Hammer Dropper. Okay, well, we're going to Luminous Bonds the Hammer Dropper. And we'll just keep attacking. We have size on our side. Oh, they're going to quad block? No? Yes? Okay, double here? No problem. Shieldmate. Still not in good shape to attack. And we will go ahead and again keep the aggression on. They have to. I mean, if they have a sure strike, they can take it down. We still make 2 other creatures is the problem. And we're gonna get a forest just because we have 1, we have more planes in our deck by 1, and 2, we have the Gorgon. So in the event we want to play both of these, doesn't matter what land we draw. Sure. You got it. Now we have more creatures. Okay, excellent. Okay, well, we're gonna get in there with all of our creatures since we have more vigilance. Nope. See, the auto tapper was going to make me tap 2 forests for that. And we said, no. You'll not tap 2 forest. We'll make you tap 2 plains. If you let it, the auto tapper will just try to control your life. And you can't let it control your life. That's what I've learned. All right, we're 4-2 battling back. This hand is great. Healer's Hawk into Pelt Collector into Centaur Peacemaker into maybe Conclave Cavalier. Now we only have 2 lands, but we're on the draw, so this is a hand I quite like on the draw. We can't grow Pelt Collector on turn 2, so no need to run him out there. Alright, opponent's trying to get fancy. We don't want them to get fancy. So, for every 2 instant sorcerers, they can pay 2 and draw a card, and then 5 gets them 5 to damage or something. That seems like so much in limited. So, since we're far off of being able to cast a symbol, we'll see if we can get our opponent to block here with a sure. It's unlikely, but hey, maybe not so unlikely after all. I think that's our best use of mana. We have plenty of things to do with more mana. We have 2 3s, 2 4s, and a 6. Our opponent is currently blanking on their Firemind's research. Let's see if we can get a free attack in through this Passwall Adept. I bet after the last combat trick they let us just hit them. Nah, they're gonna block. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so that's going to be 2 counters for Radical Idea, although they have to discard another card. First order of business is going to be getting whatever land we draw from to play District Guide, we'll get the other one. The Cyclops is very good. Okay, so this means that we are going to get a Plains. We'll definitely take the action, get a Plains here. And we'll attack here. They're obviously going to block. No need for them to be scared of our 2-2 on their 0-8. Although this card is pretty terrifying, honestly. We're going to call the culprit it immediately. But it can get very big because it just keeps going. Also, what is going on with the art here? It's a Cyclops. Why does it have so many different eye holes? Like, it can't look out this one. It has one eye. Also, why do the eye holes look like the same thing on the chest piece? And this little shoulder thing. Just the 0-8? Nah. I need to block. Well, I'll take 0. Now I can just freely attack, which is what I really want to do. Okay, 2. You can draw a card. Is it worth it to get to 5? Probably not. Okay, well, let's play the Cavalier so we can grow this and then attack with the Pelt Collector and the Healer's Hawk. They have a lot of lands. They only have 2 cards in their hand. So they can't even get to 5 with what they have. Unless it's a Chemister's Insight and... Okay, so... let's go ahead and collar this culprit. See what our opponent has to say about that. Disdainful stroke, perhaps? See, this could just be the giant. In here. Now I know what you're saying. You're like, this guy's got tattoos, and this guy's got veins all over. So yeah, you're probably right. It's probably not the same one. The first time I heard that, I thought, because every time I've heard the noise, it's been on the Ixalan board, and I always think like a gigantic dinosaur is coming. And I get some mild flashbacks from 6-year-old me in the theater watching Jurassic Park. Here it comes. Okay. One more timeout. So I hope our opponent is not just timing us out just to be rude, because that would be very rude. Nobody likes that. It's not nice. Looks like that might be what's happening. I guess we'll find out if they take an action at the very end, because they're salty that we had a removal spell for their erratic Cyclops. We'll find out. Doesn't look like they're taking any actions. Alright, last one. Here comes the dinosaur to stomp all over our opponent, tell them they're being very rude. Rude. All right. 5-2. Goes Ravnica draft. This hand is very suspect, because while it looks like we are probably going to have a Siege Worm on turn 4, we have a lot of bad draws. That being said, we do have a Luminous Bonds that we can cast and a Sword and Companions we can cast. And we do have arguably our second best card. So I think from that, we're going to keep. Of course, there's Boros. So we might be blocking with our companions. Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to Luminous Bonds this Swiftblade Vindicator lest we take ungodly amount of damage. Okay. Alright, calm down there. So, all of those other hands that we've had, anti-aggressive hands, we've yet to play a legitimately aggressive deck. However, clearly, we found it. Okay, so, if possible, we're going to attempt to block, and not on the Torch Courier. Demotion, activated abilities can't be blocked. Okay, that's fine. So, we're going to block one of these, and this is really just to gain 4 life. Our opponent has a response. Let's see. Are they going to kill our creature after we've blocked? No. Now, if they had a 4 damage spell here, that would be pretty brutal. Okay. So we came out okay on that exchange. We can play Pelt Collector into Siege Worm. Since, again, 1 green. And hopefully we can get this Light of the Legion onto the battlefield and start blocking the Sky Knight Legionnaire. They have something. They have some sort of removal spell. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Risk factor. I think I want to take 4, go to 9, because they can't recast risk factor this turn. And then next turn we let them draw 3. Okay, excellent. So we're going to attack here with... We're going to play Light of the Legion and then attack with Siege Ram Pelt Collector and our Demoted Soldier. We're playing this ahead of time because we do want to grow our Pelt Collector slightly. Okay, here, here, and here. Which gives us 2 blockers for their 3 attackers. Okay, so we're actually putting them and kind of putting it on them a little bit. It's going to be a race. They get to draw... They get to spend their turn to draw 3 cards, so they'll be able to risk factor and then play out another spell, most likely. We don't have the luxury of not letting them draw this time, of course. Okay. Well, we will block. I think I'm going to block the Torch Courier. Even though they could sacrifice it so we don't gain life, I don't want them to be able to surprise us with a haste creature. Which means that we get to keep our lifelinker around, which is also fine. Maybe our opponent is thinking about risk factor, which doesn't make sense because then they're really limiting the number of cards they could have. They need a 1 or a 2 drop instant if they're trying to play that during combat, which would be very interesting. I can't really afford to just outright kill our Light of the Legion. That's going to give all of our white creatures +1/+1. Give our Pelt Collector +1/+1. Okay. Okay. It doesn't have trample, though. For each attacking creature you control. Okay, so... We're going to attack for 11 here. Gain some life. Play the Gorgon. At this point, now... Actually, I think we... I mean, this... If they risk factor, we just take 4. Because that's the rest of their cards. Yeah, discard. Deal 4 damage to you. Yeah, we'll take it. I mean, you can put us to 3, but we're gonna attack you, and these creatures have trample, so that should be the game. Our opponent knows they're beat. All right. Score 1 more, I suppose. All right, 6-2. So this is our last game. We're either going to end up as 7-2 or 6 and 3, hopefully 7 and 2. This hand is pretty solid. We don't have anything early, but we potentially could get out a turn 4 Siege Worm. And of course we have District Guide to fix our mana a little bit. So I'm okay with this. Our opponent did mulligan to 6. Looks like we are in a Selesnya mirror. And in fact, it might be someone that we played earlier in the draft, which would be really interesting. Maybe they're playing a different deck. Rock Charger, that's very good. That's very good. We are, however, just in case we accidentally don't play another Forest next turn, we're going to play this Swarm Companions and get our Siege Worm out as quickly as possible. We can't get Siege Worm out next turn. I don't know what I was thinking, but either way, let's do a Peacemaker since it can attack through this Rock Charger. No attacks. We're likely going to have to Luminous Bonds the Rock Charger. Oh, is this the greedy opponent? It might have been. I feel like we're going to find out in short order. Okay. So we could Luminous Bonds or just get the Siege Worm in here, which I think is what we want to do. We'll Luminous Bonds next turn. No attacks. It's probably going to be the Rock Charger that we bonds. Well, almost certainly going to be the Rock Charger. Because this card is going to be a massive problem for us. Right now they're going to attack us for 6. And we can't do a thing about it. Okay, or not. Or they don't want to attack us for much of anything. Alright, that is a good one. That is a good one. We're still going to Luminous Bonds here. And they would have to double block. Unfortunately, we can't get both of them, so we'll just play our District Guide. If there was a chance that we could get this to 7 power so we could get both of these, I would just attack just to get some damage in. Ah, yes. I remember now. The old Ledev champion. Okay, we got a Forest with a District Guide, so they know we have that. I think I'm just going to hold this Assure and Assemble, but play the Sworn Companions. And pass the turn. Gun up the ground, and we definitely cannot break through right now. Okay. That's a good one. We're going to go to 8 lands in case they try to take down our Light of the Legion with maybe a Collar the Culprit, for example. No attacks. Okay. They do have their champion, which is a problem, but we at least have a somewhat of a clock on them. So we can attack with our Peacemaker, make it a 4/4, and they could have to They still trade their Ceratok for it. This wouldn't work. It can't get mentored. This wouldn't work. So we'll just attack with our Light of the Legion for now. So they could tap this and tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't have trample or anything. So I'm not too worried. We can... they obviously can't tap all of their creatures because then we could just attack back. Well, that's an interesting attack. So they have the creatures you control. You untap them and they gain indestructible. So let's keep that in mind as we block. So we will block here because that's the most damage. And I think that's it. And then we're going to take 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go to 13. They're going to gain 2. Go to 22. Okay. Join forces. Is that what it is? And if they don't have that, then we can just attack them back. Damage. Okay. Oh, they can do that on their turn? Okay. So, of course, we get a removal spell for our friend. Only attack. And we'll play a forest and end the turn. If they want to keep playing chicken like that, then we can do that, and we can keep eating, you know, little bits of their creatures. They got us with that last time, and we're not gonna let them do it again. Okay. Tap the charger. Okay, go to blocks. So we'll block here and here. So right now we're taking 3, 6, going to 7. Okay, that's fine. Damage. See, now they can't tap out is the issue. Aha. And now we have our own champion, and we get to attack with the Peacemaker this time. And if they want to, they can untap, give their creatures indestructible, but they don't have the ability to make any meaningful blocks. I mean, they could get the Peacemaker at the cost of that card, but okay, I guess that's what they want to do. Yeah, it makes it indestructible, so they can block, which is fine. Yep. Does not matter. Okay, so now that they're done playing chicken, we can go back to regular gameplay, where we both have a champion. However, if you try to kill mine, I get to make it indestructible for 2 mana instead of 5 mana. Join Shields, that's the card. That's the name we were looking for. Oh, that's powerful. That's a powerful card. Okay. No attacks. Alright. We'll make more small friends here. Okay, we can now make 2. Attack, attack. If they want to take 4 to eat our district guide, that's fine. Okay, also fine. Take down some of their creatures. I imagine they're going to tap out on their turn to keep putting things on the board. So they bend a Shield Mate and a Locket, so 2 bad cards. Got it. I'm definitely going to take the earliest opportunity to kill this Ladeb champion in the event that its toughness goes above 4. So if it taps 2 creatures and attacks. Okay. Our opponent has somewhat stranded themselves with cards in hand. And I'm going to go ahead and make 2. I don't think there's any removal spell that can do this with this mana up on our opponent's turn. And it looks like that's the case. So we're going to do the same thing. If they want to trade 4 life for their Lich, more than happy to let them. If they do that, I'm going to play the Restorer. And actually, I think I am just going to play the Restorer now with just these. Since we're clearly not in need of blocking here. And now our opponent has kind of passed up the opportunity for them to block, save a little bit of life, and kill our creature. Okay, interesting attack. Especially when we have pretty clear blocks. Here's a block, here's a block, and I just take 2. The champion is too valuable to even make a false block. In the event our opponent can pump his team. Whew. Okay, well we have effects. No. I guess you got to go for it, right? Not going to work out. I think that's going to be the game. That would have gotten us exactly too. So that's going to work out nicely. Let's see how much we can hit him for. Yeah, we'll attack with everything. District Guide, you've put in your time. You can be mentored. Excellent. We did it. All right. success with our camaraderie deck. I think I really need to change. I want to go back and look at my deck. Once I do this deck is gone. It's a figment of my imagination. And I would love to be able to say, look what deck I got 7 wins with. But of course we cannot. So 7 wins, that is certainly a great success on our part. 2 extra packs, 950 gold, which means we have, or 950 gems, which means we're well over the amount to do a sealed. So once you can start having some success in limited, it's really easy to run those events together. But thank you all for watching this week. I'm glad we made up for our draft last week, which I thought was very good, but clearly couldn't put it all together. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe to this channel, like the video, leave a comment if you want. And if you want to listen to the Thinktwice podcast, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher, and now Spotify, and of course here on YouTube. If you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/thinktwicemtg. That's it for this week. See you guys next time.